Hello, my name is MaryGrace, and this is Floss Tube number 3, Things I've Stitched for the Montgomery County Fair. When last I left you at the end of 2019, I had decided that I was going to stitch 12 things for the 2020 fair. And that requires a lot of encouragement. Fortunately, there are Facebook pages out there that do encourage you. So this is a shout out to a lot of the Facebook pages that did encourage me in all my stitching endeavors and still do encourage me. This piece I'm showing you in first is Nora Corbett's Eva Bewitching Pixie. It was my favorite piece that I put in the fair. And I like it because it's a witch and it has all the qualities of what I like. It is cross stitch, which is very defined, has instructions, and will turn out beautiful. But I've also personalized it. I've personalized it first with fuzzy floss in the hair because, hair should always be fuzzy. And then second, I added a dragon because a witch should always have someone to fly with her. The dragon actually, of course, came from a different pattern. It came from Wizard's Gate. And then, of course, there is this little bit of ribbon right here. I have that ribbon on all of my Bewitching Pixies. At some future point in time, I might do a floss tube just on my Bewitching Pixies, and we might revisit some that I've done. But this is the only one where she's flying, and I like the color, so that's why this is my starting piece. She's also done on special material. The special material I got from Sunny Dyed Fabrics. I'm doing all of my Bewitching Pixies on fabric from them because I do like the dimension of having the material, then the thread, then the beads. I like my cross stitches to have a lot of different dimension to them. She actually did get a blue ribbon because I put her in under people, because witches are people too. Later in the video, I will show you the fantasy piece that I had. Back to Facebook pages. So one of the first Facebook pages I got involved with was embroidery.com, run by Dawnette. She runs a challenge every February and October. And the challenge is that you stitch for approximately 27 days of the month. On those 27 days, you must put a beginning picture and ending picture and stitch for half an hour. At the end, she rewards you with a needle minder. See, it holds your needles so you don't step on them in the carpeting. This one obviously is the Halloween themed one, and this is the February one for Love to Stitch, because we all love to stitch. Currently, it is February, and I'm actually doing latch hook because my latch hook counts because it must have fabric, needle, and floss. So at the end of the month, you've posted, roughly 20, you have to post for 27 days. You can miss like 4 out of the month. And then you get free shipping, you get your needle minder, but you have to buy something. But, support a small business. Speaking of supporting a small business, on the side here is a grime guard. Thank you, Stitching Sisters. I stitch in Q-snaps. Thank you, CJ. When I'm going to put something in a frame, if you see me stitching it in a hoop, then the hoop is going to become the frame. Besides Nora Corbett and her Bewitching Stitches, I like Ursula Michael. They do these lovely stitches with words. And you can see here I have my fuzzy floss that I like. What you can't see is that it glows in the dark. And this is all very metallic variegated floss. And I saw somebody else had done an online framing like this. There's a patch framing, and I thought that would be nifty to try. And the judges did do. They thought great presentation and use of unusual floss. Cute, cute, cute. After I had done this, and because I like Ursula Michael so much, I happened to be on another website called Lakeside Needlecraft, and they had a sale, which is a stitch along, and they were doing an Ursula Michael. Now, the great thing about a stitch along is that you, at least for this one, I bought it, and every week they email you a part. And so you don't know the whole pattern until you're done, and that can be fun. I was still able to personalize this one. I put the fuzzy floss over the spider. I think I added this frog all together. And of course, again, the fuzzy floss for the owl. Also note here, hidden in the spider webs are my initials. My fiber child, I have two children, the engineering child and the fiber child. Okay, they're adults. Engineering child has a job. Fiber child in college, but they're my children. Fiber child said to me, it's distracting with my initials, but I'm going to put my initials on my work because I'm proud of it. And usually I put the year so I know when I did it. But I thought they had an interesting point, so now occasionally I do try and hide them. The other thing about the spider web is I went over 2 spaces, which the judges commented on. They were like, try going over 1 square for better definition. Okay, I like it over 2. It's my choice. Back to this nifty fabric frame. This piece is considered unframed. So in the Montgomery County Fair, it goes in the unframed department. And I got a blue ribbon because of that, because most people do frame their things in hard frames. So this was in a different category, and I scored. So yay! The next Facebook page I want to talk about is Alyssa Westhock's Stitchotomy Stitch Along. She does 3 stitch alongs a year. 1 wintertime, 1 at Halloween, and 1 this spring. This is called Colorful Creatures. And again, I personalized it. Of course, I made the decision to personalize it when I was 3 bugs in. So I overstitched on this bug the flashy colors that you might not be able to see. And of course, fuzzy floss there. And I also put the words around. She has 3 different ways that you can work with her. This was free, but you have to sign up at the right time. If you miss the sign up, then you have to pay for the pattern. And also she sells kits. And when you pay for the pattern, you get the bugs 3 days ahead of time. Plus they also have niftier graphics, like the moth had a moon on it and what have you. But I was okay with the free one, because I have lots of floss and stash and what have you. But it was fun to, get the various bugs on various days. We all post, we all cheer each other on. It's a great community. As you can see, a lot of my stuff is Halloween themed. And that is in part because I went and saw a cross-stitch page called, at that time, 20 Halloween stitches in 20. And then it was 21 Halloween stitches in 21. And I always made the joke that it was 2 little ones and 1 big one, because there was no way I was going to stitch 21 things. But I did stitch this matching set. Now, this was the original pattern done by Hinsel Stitchcraft. And then as you can see, the fuzzy floss, of course, and my witch glows in the dark, and my initials are hidden in the spider web again. But then I wanted a second piece to match. The original pattern, it didn't match as well. See, I changed the letters, again, fuzzy floss for my cat, and I made 2 matching pieces. I stitched them in the hoop because the hoop worked as the frame. On the Halloween site, there's also a woman named Lynn. I always know her by her little caricature, and she's so encouraging too. It's so nice to have that encouragement as you work. One more Facebook page called Cross Stitch Unlimited. Deals with cross stitch. And the reason I want to mention this last Facebook page is all the Facebook pages have Whip Wednesday. Whip Wednesday is when you show your work in progress. So when you show your work in progress, everyone, loves on it. Well, one time I showed this work in progress and Sue Hills, the designer, commented on it. And man, look at the personalizations here. I changed the color of the dress. I gave her gray fuzzy hair. I added a calico cat. I added an owl, and then I got this frame from my frame stash, And I needed a moon. Now this one does have a flaw in it. There's a string tailing from here to here to here, and the judges commented on that. So in the future, I'm probably going to try to avoid doing that. She also has challenges, and when you complete, I actually won one of her challenges. I got this awesome project bag. Look at this thing. So it is fun to participate in the challenges that they have. Oh, I should have mentioned Dawnette on Thursday she loves on your project. She rings the bell if you have a finish. So you always want to post your finish. Now again, back to me saying 2 small ones, 1 big one. Another set of small ones I did were these button and beads. And again, thank you, No Pattern Police. I altered the owl. And this is on perforated paper. So it's a different, it's not fabric. So it's in a different department all on its own. And here is Wanda's Witchery. This took a lot longer than I thought it would. All that bead work, it was very intense. And again, like I said, done on perforated paper. So besides trying out perforated paper, I thought I would try out something altogether different. I went and tried out some ribbon embroidery. And let me tell you, this particular pattern is everywhere on eBay. But they said it was beautiful and a real use of dimension. The butterfly is my little piece of personality on this. But then I thought, I'll try something else. I went back to my childhood. I still have this book because pattern hoarding. And in here was this little owl that I stitched. And it's done with satin stitch. I would like to improve my embroidery ability. They said, of course, watch your tension, but keep on stitching. After that bit of experimentation, I thought I would go even further out and finish this latch hook rug for my fiber child. They started it, I finished it. And in rugs, they have a whole checklist here. Strengths, creativity. They said it was a very cute hanging. Next time, try lightening the yarn. I guess they didn't like it that it was so monochromatic. And not all of the floss right here is the same length. I tried out variegated floss. I know, green, new color, 5th place. Very nice. Please watch your tension. This is like one of the first times I've used variegated floss. And again, it's an owl, if you haven't caught on to that. I thought it would be, no, an owl turned the wrong way. Let's try it again. Oh, well. I like owls, really trying owls out. And everything, all witches, related. I don't think I made 21 witch things, but I did make one more witch thing. I made this cute little hat, and I made it in the shape of a hat. Of course, I left the back for all to see, and they did comment on that. So hide your backs. This is done by Judy Whitman. And that is everything I did for the 19 fair, which became the 20 fair. They did let you enter, 2 years worth of stuff, which is why I've got stuff from various years going in. And actually, I just spotted one more thing I forgot. I did this nifty little bracelet with the cats on it. So in case you're counting, there's 15 things that you saw. There is a 16th piece. I can't find it. It was actually on needlework. It was a dolphin. And the description says, try to make your French knots all the same. Now I don't do French knots. I replace them with beads. And try to make edge stitching small, cute item like the dolphin charm. All that stitching, I like the charms. But I like charms too. So those were 16 pieces that I was able to put in. There were some pieces I was not able to put in. So in the future, I might have a floss on things that didn't make it into the Montgomery Fair. One of them was in this Bewitching Pixie series. There was 12 in the original series. Now she's got a new series. I want to stitch them all. We'll see how that goes. And if you're wondering, if you're thinking Facebook pages are great, but don't you need more than that? Yes, sometimes you do. And I happen to have more than that. I and at least 3 to up to 7 of my friends have a crafting chat. We Zoom with each other on the weekend starting at 1 o'clock, and we comment on each other things. One person's a knitter, one person's a crocheter, one person alternates. I do mostly stitch stuff, and we encourage each other. So I'd like to thank D and C and Kay for all of their encouragement and everything I do. I'd like to thank Kat. It was Kat's idea that I take a picture of myself with all my stuff, which made it a lot easier to find them this year. So I'm very thankful to her for that. I am very thankful to all of them for all that they have done to helping me in my cross-stitch journey. I hope that you all have enjoyed. I almost forgot. And I know you all would be devastated if I forgot. Updates. I've made more yarn. It's thicker. Here, you'll just have to trust me on that. And then, of course, the latch hook. The latch hook actually does count, I think I said earlier, for February. So you can see I've gotten much farther along on my poinsettias. I do think I'm going to run out of green. And I might do an update on where I stand in the fair. Because originally I was going to possibly do a floss tube on each department. But since I'm probably only going to knit one thing, crochet one thing, no one wants to hear me talk about the one thing I knitted for 15 minutes. And I thought about doing knit and crochet on the same one. I think I'm going to do a halfway point one. So that might be my next video. Either way, thank you for tuning in for the 3rd time. And hopefully I'll do this again soon. Bye.